Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 easy drills to fix your leg work. All right guys, before we hop into this video, if you guys would do me a favor, if you guys like this video, please click the like button, click the notification bell so you know when these videos are coming out. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you guys. All right guys, so let's talk about 3 simple, easy, awesome drills to fix your leg work. Before we do that, just a quick reminder, every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be live here on YouTube. And we are still right now offering a 7-day free trial to cogornogolf.com. If you guys want more instruction from me, tailored for you, we'd love to see you there. Link is in the description down below. So 3 easy drills to fix your leg work. In particular, I want to focus on how the right leg works. And when I say leg work, I'm really talking about during your downswing, what your legs do. This is something that's been coming up a lot in questions during our live sessions, some of my online sessions, how the leg works. Now I'm going to flip around here down the line, and really what I see the most common in terms of errors during the downswing with how the right leg works, there's a ton of the online lessons that we do, is I see a lot of the right leg doing something like this during the downswing. So the pressure in, or the weight in the feet going really far towards the toes, the knee kicking in too far forward, the hip kicking in too far forward, something that looks a little bit like this. I know some of you guys are watching like, yeah, it's me, I've been doing that for a long time. So I see that all the time, and I've been doing a lot of lessons, and we realize, hey, there's like 3 drills that we use all the time that are really easy that can work. So from this side, right, it's looking like here, the right leg kind of kicks in forward this way, sometimes even kind of overly kicks in, something goofy looking like that. Compared to if you were to watch a good player, there's a pretty distinct motion of the leg, right? It reflexes here forward, and then it starts to turn and straighten during the late downswing. From the top, it reflexes during the early transition, quad is pretty neutral, maybe slightly externally rotated, and then it starts to kick in and turn and straighten during the follow. So you'll kind of see that motion all the time. If you reference I always use Hideki Matsuyama in our perfect backswing, Adam Scott in the downswing, you'll see that right leg motion a little more detail. So 3 drills. The first one is basically a concept that I want you to play around with, and it's how your foot grips or uses the ground. So what I mean by that is if I take my normal setup position, and from my perspective, I had a clock in front of me. So facing this way would be 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9. When I see a leg work that goes too far forward or caves in too much, you're gripping the ground counterclockwise, which is your right foot is basically doing some kind of spin out move like this. It's turning in this way, which creates that overly bent position and the inward knee, versus having it gripping the ground clockwise in this fashion. This is something that I first heard from a guy named Chris Como. Some of you guys know who he is. Worked with Tiger not that long ago. And he talked about the idea of gripping the ground clockwise before you throw a punch. I was like, oh man, that's perfect. That's exactly what I see good players do. So with my foot, if it wasn't connected to the ground, it would actually physically move clockwise like this. It would actually go this way. You see guys like George Gangas put a plate underneath there, and you actually have a sliding motion. If I, with my right foot, can feel like I'm gripping the ground and pushing it clockwise, it keeps my trail leg in external rotation or my quad out this way, and then it's easier for me to straighten up and get rid of that sloppy leg action. So part number 1 is just playing around with that, feeling like my foot is gripping it clockwise, right leg's going external. So I would just hit 1 with the feel like that first. And all like those other things, watching that with video, confirming that. This is really just a feel with that, but rest assured, when you guys do your downswing, it's normally a gripping and turning this way, and we want to reverse that action. So that's one key point. I want to go over the second drill and put something in your way here in a second. All right guys, so the second drill for the right leg and the leg work, I just have a little noodle here lined up. We have a little shaft holder from Mike Bender's site to hold the noodle. Now the purpose of this is to have an object in front of your right knee and your right leg. Again, the idea being During the downswing, the fault or the bad movement would be the pressure going too far towards the toes, right? The knee kicking in, the hips kicking in. You can see if I did that, my right knee would run into that noodle. The idea being from the top, like I mentioned, kind of gripping the ground clockwise, keeping this knee inside of here as I work down, and then gradually maintaining some depth here and having my leg turning inside of the noodle. It's a really good one for those of you who early extend, like me. Feels like I have to do some effort to miss this. So the idea is to be able to make some swings. If I take my setup position here, I usually just put it knee height, maybe just below knee height, and I give myself about 2 inches between the noodle and my knee. And I'm going to start with some little short swings and get a feel of my right foot and my right knee kind of banking inward and maintaining more depth here. Go ahead and demonstrate one like this. And this again here, this is just a different way and a different drill to provide the same sort of feedback if you have that right leg motion, too much weight on the toes. And we're going to go ahead and show you a third drill with that. Go ahead one more time. So noodles in front. I'm just trying to work my quad and my knee inside of that as I turn through and maintain some depth there. Go ahead and do one more. Okay, cool. So this is part number 2. Again, those of you who early extend for a long period of time, this would be awesome to throw with that. I'm going to give you one more drill to fix that leg work during the downswing. So last drill here for the leg work. This is an oldie but a goodie. I'm going to go ahead and grab a second club here. When I take my normal setup, again, the idea of getting out of that same motion, if I take a sand wedge and I just pop that club right underneath my heel on my right foot, if you have that normal motion with the right leg kind of getting sloppy during the downswing, pressure goes towards the toes, this is going to pop out early during my downswing, okay? Are there some players where it comes out early and they match movements? Absolutely, but if you've been overdoing that leg work, causing contact, club face inconsistency, this is something we want to practice. What do I want to do here? I put it underneath my foot, and I'm going to go ahead and make some swings, and what I want to have happen is I want to keep that club in there until I get past impact, which means part of my heel is still going to be on the ground. The idea here is to have more of a banking motion of my foot. Remember, where the pressure goes in my feet is going to dictate a lot of what my leg does. Meaning, if I remove this here, when I come down during my downswing, if a lot of pressure goes towards my toes and my heel comes up, my leg and my pelvis are going to kick in. I want to, from the top, if I have that problem, feel like I have more weight even back into my heel. So I'm going to add a little bonus drill to that in a second. But for this one, I pop the club in, and I just feel what that feels like. Make a swing or two where I feel like that stays in until after impact. And your right foot should feel like it banks and stays on the ground longer than normal. And you can actually hit with this in there. Let's go ahead and demonstrate that. So I like the drills that you can do with an actual ball in there to confirm. So normal setup position, club in there underneath my heel, and I'm trying to keep that in, stay inside that noodle till after impact. So for those of you, again, that have that inward motion, that's going to feel like a lot more depth and different than normal. One other little piece that we do sometimes just to feel this is to over-exaggerate in terms of the weight on the feet. If you come up here normally and you go too far forward, like this, what's the opposite of too far forward? More back, right? So even during the downswing, you might want to try to exaggerate, even lifting your toes up off the ground like so, where my toes are curled up, my weight's way back on my heels, and from face on, that would feel more like I'm banking that and rolling that right foot inward as I work through instead of up like this. So that's another little drill you can do with that during my downswing, actually rolling my toes up in the air. Let's go ahead and do one of those. And can feel the same part. Again, if you've been doing this too long, it's going to feel like you're banking on the inside part of that heel a lot differently than normal. And I want you gripping the ground in a clockwise fashion, not counterclockwise. So that's 3.5 drills for you guys in terms of fixing the leg work. We talk a lot about the left leg in rotation, but you can get a lot of that counter motion with the right leg too. Hope that makes sense. If you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below.